think that's actually what it was.
Yeah, okay. Well, we figured it out.
Apparently, Wazzy is my memory over here.
I wouldn't be surprised at that, actually. That makes a lot of
Right?
sense, actually.
What did I do?
Don't worry about it, Wazzy. Just keep doing what you do.
Just be you, baby.
Okay.
I need you to.
All right, I just pressed play, my boys. Welcome
Play?
back, y'all. It's been a
What are we playing?
few hide the banana. Or hide the zucchini. Or hide the eggplant. It's so many different names for dick now. It's crazy.
I'm not hiding anything in my prison pocket, all right?
Yeah, it's not you hiding it, Jake. It's somebody else.
You are the hiding spot, buddy. I think you got it confused.
Would you play hide and seek so much that you become the hiding spot? I am begone.
That is terrible, and
Yeah.
I don't ever want to go to prison. Even though, remember,
That is a good goal, MJ.
Yeah.
That is a very good goal.
I just think about all you don't always just go to prison because you rob somebody or kill somebody, you know, like shit just happens. Like you just driving and somebody kid jump out in the street or somebody themselves jump out in the street. You got man 1. Now your ass in prison for 2 to 5. I can't have it, bro.
Yeah, that manslaughter is a something or other, man.
Yeah, I can't. It terrifies me knowing that there are things out of my control sometimes that could possibly put me in prison.
Yeah, well, see, you guys stop being such a control freak, man.
Yeah, I think that's why I haven't gone to prison yet, though, because I actually just let the flow, let it flow, let the flow,
Right.
let it flow.
I mean, let it flow,
Let it go.
let it flow,
Let it go.
let it flow with the ego.
All right, boys. So to start this bad boy off, as y'all know, we've been off for a few weeks. Just because I had lost my pops January 20th, 2021. So we're gonna do a cheers to Big Mike to start off the podcast today. Love you, pops. Miss you. And this is gonna be, we gonna kill this podcast today for you. Woo!
That bottle's gone.
Yeah, that something gone. God damn.
I gotta talk to you guys about this stuff, but
That Crown
Mike-
Royale.
yeah, but Mike, I know you got your little intros that you like to do,
Yep.
so I'll let you handle that first.
Yeah, the intro gonna be simple today, y'all. This is the No Consensus podcast. This podcast today is gonna be celebrating life, remembering how lucky we all are to not be dead or in prison, playing hide the banana, eggplant, zucchini. How beautiful it really is to live on this earth for the little time that we have, and we don't never know when our shit'll be up. And you know, we're gonna speak on a couple things, and just for people, because I know a lot of people, we talk about it a lot on this podcast, people be going through shit, dog. So this is a celebration today, dog. No Consensus podcast. I'm Mike Jack, aka Jack Jr., aka Simba. To my right here is my boy Jake, aka the Red Robin, aka Unlimited Fries. Below him is the Wazinator, aka the Baconator, aka Kevin Bacon. And it's the No Consensus podcast.
I never realized that, but Wazzy, you definitely like you could be Kevin Bacon's like older brother.
Waz's face when you started that sentence was like, "Don't you even fucking say no shit like that."
I was a little bit worried where you were going with it.
There's so many things I was thinking of. I was like, how hard do I want to go? Because a little disclaimer, since we haven't done this in a minute, and Justin and we didn't do our podcast last week neither, so I got a little pent up yeah, so
aggression.
Well, not aggression, just like
energy.
Yeah, energy and like that wackadoo-ness,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
like, So like I know I gotta go ahead and taper it down sometimes and check it and all that jazz. But like one of the things that popped in my head was good to say that Wazzy looks like he could be Kevin Bacon's like female biological twin sister.
I think that it's offensive.
I will say, I will
I was
say
like, no, that's
this.
just me. Like,
I mean, I'm down with being pretty, but
The only thing in there that you can take out as a compliment is that's basically saying you're pretty. Because like if people mistake your baby son for a girl, that means that he's pretty, right? So it's a backhanded compliment, but at the same time, all right, I'm pretty. Maybe am I a pretty girl on some SpongeBob shit? But yeah, you might have to throw hands, Jake. I ain't gonna lie to you.
well, but I didn't say it because I was like, okay, yes, that's
But you did say it. You did say it. You actually said it.
Yeah. I mean, when you put it that way. So, anyways, this Crown Royal,
let's go ahead and switch to the crowd.
you know, half the time at the market they got a little basket with like those little shooters, and you know we got real shooters out here, and sometimes sometimes they get the Crown Royal vanilla and apple. So I've grabbed a couple of those a few times, and it's a nice little mix up there. And
yeah, I put you on the Crown peach. Remember?
Yeah, the
that?
peach.
Yep.
Yeah, which I thought that they had the peach, but they don't have the peach. They got everything other than the peach.
I told you that motherfucker be flying off the shelf, bro.
Yeah, so Julia had smelled my glass one day, and she's like, "That smells delicious. What you got there?" I was like, "Oh, it's just straight whiskey. It's a little half apple, half vanilla." And she's like, "Ooh, let me get a try." She does not drink whiskey.
That's funny.
It doesn't matter what it is. She won't drink a Jack and Coke, even if it's mixed like that.
That's hilarious. I guess I don't even think of Jack as whiskey. So go ahead.
Yeah. But so a few days ago, or maybe about a week or so ago, she asked me to pick up not like a big bottle, but just like one of those like little in between bottles, one of those little tweeners. So
yeah,
I got
the pint. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the pint of the vanilla and of the apple, and next thing I know, she's just sitting on the couch with a rocks glass with nothing but straight Crown Royal vanilla apple mix in there, just sipping on it.
Fire.
And I never expected to see that ever before in my life. But
shout out to Juju. That's a big step forward. That's an OG a drink right there. So that shows she got taste.
Yeah, I always saw the potential in her to go ahead and become the person that I wanted her to be. And through enough manipulation, it finally happened.
Oh man, bro. It's just so funny how the motherfucking Jake is the womanizer in the group. But
so is the vanilla like as sweet as the maple, or is it?
Ooh, I haven't had maple.
Yeah, the maple one is like super sweet. Crown maple.
I would say the vanilla is not super sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could drink the vanilla and the apple just by themselves, like Jake was saying, but that maple joint, I'd be having to put something else in there.
Yeah, the apple I find a little bit on the sweet side. I mean, it's not bad, but I think a little too much of it, I might get a tum ache.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Like when you go hard on schnapps.
There's no other way to go with schnapps, though. I mean, if it's gonna be a schnapps night, it's gonna be a schnapps night.
All right, schnapps night or $2 Chuck night.
Bro, what is $2 Chuck? Hey, put me on, bro. What the fuck is this?
He's got to Google it. He just knows the term.
Yeah.
You're a phony, Wazzy. You're a phony.
I know.
This guy's a big fat phony.
So I was trying to think of the name. I think it was Boone's Farm is the wine. $2 Chuck is basically just like cheap wine, and Boone's
Oh
Farm is like
my
Ooh.
god.
$1 a bottle,
I
and usually
know.
bars.
Yeah.
I know. That's a stomach
Yeah.
ache. Golly. Oh my god.
Mhm.
So what y'all just go in on it, huh?
I mean,
I get $10. Everybody
Wait.
fucked up tonight.
$2 Chuck, and it's only $1 each. Are you doing like the what is it?
Edward 40 hands.
Yeah, are you doing that with like this wine?
I haven't done that.
You double fisting Boone's Farm?
I couldn't do that.
No, I have done that.
You got a dry red and a sweet white.
Oh, that's a wild combo. Man, that's crazy. That shit is.
Maybe you got some blue Kool-Aid in there, so you got like the red, white, and blue. You know, keeping it patriotic.
Oh my god.
Mike's like, why did I come back to this? I told you I might be in rare form tonight.
But the blue Kool-Aid, you said the red dry, the white sweet with the blue cool. That's just crazy, bro. Crazy combos. You sound like a frat party. That's the type of shit that they throw in them like clothes bins and just make everybody dip their cup in and drink out of. Frat parties, man. That's one thing. Jake, I feel like you did say you went to a frat party before.
What I remember
like a frat house,
like only like once or twice, yeah. And
I mean, I told the story when I ran from a frat house.
Did you?
Yeah.
Do you remember this story? Do you remember this story, Jake?
I'm pretty sure I told it.
Vaguely, yeah. I black out most of my life, so like I vaguely remember him telling the story.
Oh, yes, I remember now. Because as soon as you said the cop shit, I remember. Yeah, it's funny going to different type of fraternities parties, and what I'm talking about black fraternities versus white fraternities. The vibe and the partying is just it's the same, but it's different. And that's the only way I can kind of explain it, dog. Like the people is different. The vibe is different. The music is basically the same, no. And the goal at the end of the night is the same. So that's what make it all come together. Everybody just trying to fuck. So let me find out who I bump into during this party and can fall into. But that should always terrify me. That's a different story for another day.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what like from the very little knowledge I have of black fraternities, trying to think of what like a party there might be like.
Well, where I'm at, bro, and we used to, in college, dog, it was like you just go to different colleges to party, right? But a lot of these guys didn't have fucking frat houses. It was just, somebody's apartment. And if it was a house, it was it was somebody's house. And you just sitting that motherfucker fucking it up, bro. And then remember we got into the whole what music do y'all listen to when y'all set the mood? Like there hits this part of the night where all the lights turn off and then that type of music just starts playing. And that's when you know, all right, I gotta find something. Or it's a wrap. That part of the night don't never come at the white fraternity. It's just bang, bang, bang till everybody passes out or you leave. But there is a part at the black fraternities where it's like, all right, get you some ass, bro.
Yeah, I don't remember having any of those moments at any of the. I lived up at U of M for what would have been for freshman year, basically on the weekends.
Yeah,
I had some buds up there.
That's fire. That's a good thing too, though. Just going up to a college for a weekend, getting it in, and then bringing your ass back home.
Yeah, that's really kind of interesting. The difference, like, cause like essentially the DJ there at the black frat party is like looking out for you, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Whereas the white guy is like,
They got their playlist that they made, bro, and they hit play and then they gone.
I don't know how
He's
many
got
times
another
I heard.
playlist that he's playing off of his phone in the guest room upstairs.
Yep. But like I said, it's all the same, bro. At the white fraternities, everybody got that nasty juice that they make, whatever they call it.
Jungle juice?
Yeah, but they call it something comparable to whatever their fraternity is. And it's just nasty and gonna give you the worst hangover on earth. Floors is sticky, liquor is cheap, girls is skanky. But that's all you can ask for at 18, 19. Fuck it.
I mean,
21 plus, you mean, Mike, right?
Oh, my bad. 21. 20, 21, 22.
No, not 20. Where do you think you are?
I said 21, 22. That's all I'm at. Responsible. Drinking legally. If you really, come on, you go to college at 18. This is why the legal age of drinking still, this is just another reason why it don't make sense. I'm supposed to be a man, leaving the house, being on my own at 18, but I can't fucking drink legally still. For 3 years, I'm supposed to be in college for 3 years and not drink nothing? Come on, bro.
Well, and you're allowed to go ahead and kill people for the government.
Yeah, bro. And say you don't, and exactly, say I don't go to college, that means I'm doing something else, like working. So now I gotta I'm actually making money, earning money, paying taxes. And I gotta do 3 years of that before you all right, you can drink some liquor.
You can't even grab a beer after your shift with the guys. And then
you can't even use the smoking example anymore, because now that's 21. So now it's 21 for anything to hurt yourself, but the U.S. can put you in the military
and hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and then, but you're also expected to be able to make intelligent enough decisions as like the president of the United States, and that sort of thing. You can vote, but I can't trust you with a beer. I mean, I don't know, like with the development that's still going on.
You just lost some light over there. You smack your lamp. There it is. It's coming back a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think
yeah, okay.
I'm moving too quickly. I mean, I don't inherently disagree with the 21 age limit of alcohol due to the effect on like brain development and that your brain is still developing. But therefore, it's not fair to go ahead and send people off to war.
Yeah.
Because what about intensely traumatizing?
You can't even go to the NBA or the NFL at 18 right now because quote unquote your body's not ready. But you can still sign up to be in the army at 18, y'all. That's crazy. I just thought about that just now. You got to play 3 years of football and 1 year of basketball.
So that's a decent segue because I saw something about Mark Cuban. What team does he own? The Mavericks or something?
Yep, the Dallas Mavericks.
Wow, how did I pull that out of my tuchus?
It's a good memory. You read something.
So apparently he's talking about before their games not playing the national anthem.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an interesting, like this one thing I had seen posted was, it doesn't make any sense. So I mean, for example, like in the UK soccer matches, they don't play the anthem or anything like that of the UK. It's each
team
football club, they have like their own anthems and stuff, and they'll go ahead and sing those. So, and that's the way it is in a lot of other countries and stuff like that before a sporting event. So for us to go ahead and be playing the national anthem before every sporting event, like why? Is it because it's an entertainment thing? Well, and why don't we go ahead and play it before every movie at the movie theater? and stuff like
They used to
and that
make us
and that
stand
sort of
up and
thing.
sing that motherfucker before school, like at the beginning of our school day. Did y'all have to do that? Stand up and say like
The Pledge of
the
Allegiance.
the
yeah
Pledge of Allegiance.
the Pledge of Allegiance we had to do, but not like the anthem.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah,
just it is. I'm going with you saying. It is funny
yeah.
where we do and where we don't say let's do this.
Right, yeah. There's an inconsistency, especially when you look at the example from the entire rest of the world, right? So that would be an interesting. I'm not tied to the tradition of before sporting events going ahead and playing the national anthem, because unless it's the U.S. versus Mexico or the U.S. versus Spain or whatever, I like how I had to pick two Spanish-speaking countries there. But I couldn't have said France or Germany or anything like
You did
that,
right, bro.
But now that would make sense to go ahead and play the U.S. national anthem and then the anthem of the foreign country. Um, but it'd be So there's that inconsistency. But it would be interesting to see, like, well, what would a Pistons like game song be like?
Yeah.
What would a Pistons anthem be?
Yeah, I haven't because the NHL does that too. Like you gotta when an NHL team plays a Canadian team, you gotta listen to both anthems before the before the game starts and yeah. So I'll say this: I saw that today. They was talking about it a lot on all the ESPN shows that I was watching. Every time they brought it up, I just turned it off. I just wasn't really in the mood to hear about it today. So I'll preface this by saying I don't really know what his reasoning for saying he's not doing it was. And actually I can kind of guess what the reason it is. I know what the reason it is. I don't know what he plans to accomplish by doing it or what the message is by not doing it, because the players kneeling during the anthem was to say, "Hey, we love this country, but it needs change." So it's you don't got to stop playing the anthem. So I don't really like I said, I don't got that much info on it, but so I ain't got shit for you, buddy. But I will say the NBA did just probably like 2 hours ago. I got a message saying the NBA is telling all teams that they must play the anthem and they have no choice in the matter. So this is going to start some other shit that didn't even need to get started up, because who are you to tell me what I'm playing in my arena, bitch?
Mm-hmm.
What was you about to say, Wash? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I'd see a higher chance of like a Michigan state anthem over the Pistons anthem. That just anytime Michigan played Colorado, be the Michigan anthem and the Colorado anthem if they wanted to go that route.
We probably got something in the archives too. Like the Lions do have like a fight song that they sing, during the game. And I don't know. I kind of feel like each state probably does have some hidden garbage song in the archive somewhere.
My Michigan is the regional anthem for Michigan.
What I tell you, I knew we had some trash.
Just by that
Ryan
name, I don't want to hear it.
Bro, it's hard to rhyme with Michigan. 1933.
Mike, Mr. Rapper guy.
Mm-hmm.
Spit some bars with rhyme in Michigan.
Michigan. I was born in Michigan. You acting like a bitch again. I can't believe that I'm driving this. I need a car with some tires from Michelin. These hoes out here talking. I'm miss again. I fucked your miss again.
Again.
It's gotta be.
Why can't you be quick? Fuck, stuttering. Why can't you be quicker then? Yep. Is what I was gonna say.
And then hold on, damn, I fucked up with a quicker pen, but I said quick again, and I said again. So now we back where with this shit again.
Where we begin?
Yeah, again. So yeah, like if I'm just talking about like just I always forget the word, but like if you look at the word itself, or there's not many words that fully rhyme with Michigan, so you gotta like kind of play with whatever else you working with. Mm-hmm. I go hard with Michigan though.
What was it here though? Fudge. Yeah. So no, like your comment, Mike.
Oh,
Just
about the
really kind of.
kneeling.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like I've heard voices on. I don't know if it's even fair to say both sides. I've heard plenty of voices go ahead and say that um, the anthem itself is inherently racist. Therefore, the anthem itself needs to go
Mm-hmm.
away. And so
You
like,
know what? I have heard that because motherfuckers bring out that second verse on your ass,
yeah,
and you be like, "Oh, he was saying that too." I can't remember what it was, but it do get a little wild in verse 2. Who was featured on
yeah.
that?
Um, but like, I don't know. I don't know if that's like necessarily the consensus,
Yeah.
but to one of the things that you made me think. So like, it's like, okay, so do we get rid of it or nah? And but like you said, by these, I mean, I guess you weren't saying it, but one of the things that brought to my mind is by playing the anthem, it gives an opportunity for these athletes to take a knee. So if we don't play the anthem, will they be taking a knee? Will they
Yeah.
have an opportunity to take a knee? Will it say the same thing at all? So therefore, would it actually quiet that statement instead of actually giving voice to it? You know, it's like you're kind of deplatforming. You know,
Yeah, because this is what it does. You got this big boom now. You know, everybody on ESPN is talking about you not playing the anthem. Boom, and then it fizzles away because your games are just starting. And at the end of the day, if you most people are, especially during COVID, we're all sitting at home anyway. Nobody's watching the game while the anthem is playing, so it actually don't matter anyways. I don't turn the game on till halfway through the first quarter, and that's when most people turn these games on, bro. Also, logistically, what are you going to be doing during that time that it was supposed to be playing? Because that's the
right?
time when everybody kind of stops warming up. We line up, we get prepared, players get their mind right, and then they call the lineups, and so that's like a whole 15 minutes that you're just cutting away. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, there is something to be said about like the Wings had Carrie Newman, or somebody would bring on choirs, or there
Mm-hmm.
is something about bringing in somebody else and spotlighting them for a little bit that is kind of cool. But that's a
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
completely side thing to having the anthem.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no, but you're right. That's definitely a consequence that you probably didn't even think about now that it's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I'll
It's
do some more
interesting.
research on it so we can kind of talk about it some more. But I just wasn't in the mood to see that shit today. Y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through too much and more shit about racist bullshit or and some guy saying a white owner saying we're not playing the national anthem for what reason. I just didn't feel like reading them up on it. So
Yeah.
Do you know how many parts of the Star Spangled Banner there are? It's a much
absolutely.
longer song.
And that's what I was about to say. The thing that I had brought up saying people started breaking down the anthem, they didn't do that till like a year or two after people was kneeling. They wasn't kneeling
Right.
because of the words of the anthem. It was because of something
Right.
else. But I didn't. How many you said?
There are 4 verses, 4 full ass verses of the Star Spangled Banner.
God damn, boy made a Prince song, didn't he? God damn.
There are more words in this than a lot of songs I listen to.
That's
Um.
crazy.
You know,
Boy caught some inspiration on that one.
he was feeling the spirit, bro.
That's right. The bars on that boat while it was shaking.
Yeah, get amused that night.
Is the main part that we sing the first verse at least though? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it does end. The first verse does end of "Or the land of the free and the home of the brave."
Okay.
So
Okay.
we are singing 1/4 of a song. So we are 1/4 nationalized.
Because we will do that shit. Just grab the third verse because that was the hottest verse out of some shit and sing it.
You know, Mike, you bringing up the white owner and like in this sort of situation reminds me that I had seen I'm a member of the Ypsilanti area discussion, and this super white woman posted in there
What you said it was called? Ypsilanti what?
area discussion.
Okay, that's on Facebook.
Yeah, she had posted in there I think earlier today, saying I'd like to support a small/local business that creates breast milk jewelry, especially if it's a black-owned business. Any suggestions? And
Baby.
Minus the word jewelry, I could at least see that.
the heathenry's real out here. But so here's the thing I thought was hilarious about it. So for one, the first thing that pops in my head is Dave Chappelle.
That Cambodian breast milk.
Yes, and a couple people made that joke in there, but like
only the finest breast milks.
I just thought it was hilarious that like she's I clicked on her profile, the super woke type, but I'm sitting here like it really feels like you're fetishizing black folks with like I need your breast milk and I need it in jewelry form so I can own it. I can wear it on my finger. Like, it's just really weird to me.
Is that like weird virtue signaling?
Yeah.
Like, is she walking around with a necklace and a little bit of like tit milk in there and being like, "This is black tit milk"?
Listen, I be around these type of people so often. That's a person who she means well, y'all. She means well.
And I get that, but it's weird.
But it's first of all, you want breast milk jewelry? Black people ain't even heard of this. What is this? What are you talking about? What are we talking about here? If you would have just said regular jewelry, okay, we got you. You want you want some type of astrology type shit. You want some birthstones. You want some African type shit. We got you. We could put you together. Your ass just said breast milk jewelry, black small business. First of all, that's the only type of breast milk jewelry you gonna get in small business. You want about to find
breast milk jewelry is number 2 in Google.
What is your search history, bro? Why is Google
not
that?
this?
Oh man,
go ahead and click
jaundice. All of those make sense. This one, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit look fire though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, they go ahead and mix like breast milk and the resin or something like that. But
it looks like opal, kind of.
You're not showing it on here, Wazzy. Let me see it.
Like it's like a pearlescent type of feel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny to write that in the Ipsy. Like it's so much wrong. You not finding what you looking for, baby girl. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
Did she also want hair?
That's all I was about to say. What the fuck is that, bro?
Yeah, if that's not fetishism, I don't know what is. Like that feels a little bit like objectifying people.
Oh, yeah, I ain't mad at her. I just hope she know that she's looking for a lost cause in that group chat at least. Why are we seeing?
Well, no, everyone was super supportive and sending her links and stuff like that.
They found something? Okay. Why is it? We don't see the No Consensus podcast on.
Yeah, nothing local.
Yeah. Okay.
It's stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, apparently, yeah, it seems like it's like this weird, sort of pagan-y sort of thing.
Bro said it was pagan-y. Hilarious. Oh man, that's crazy. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Well, I hope she found her some of that black breast milk jewelry.
Yeah, only the finest, straight from Cambodia.
Only the fucking finest. You still working on that, Wazzy?
Yeah, for some reason I can't get to the thing to switch it, if that makes sense. It should. Oh, for some reason. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
Dog.
Oh, cool.
So,
Cambodia. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was about to say. So, I actually had something written down, but I can't find it that I want to ask y'all about. There's a couple things I want to ask y'all about since I've been out the world. But before we get into that, let me just say that Jake, thanks for coming to the viewing. Wazzy, thanks for showing support and being there, because I know if I wanted to talk, I'd be able to hit you up and rock out with you. So I appreciate you, boys. Grubhub and food for people who going through the like grieving processes is number one gift, bro. That shit was so fire. You got me through so many nights, Jake, where I was like, I'm not cooking, dog. Like, I would rev myself up, like, all right, I'm gonna put this together, do this, and then I was like, nah, I can't eat. And then when I rubbed out, Jesus Christ, when I scratched off that code and it said $100 from Grubhub, I was like, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Like, I think that people underestimate how much it matters to just do little shit for people. And what you just from a Grubhub gift card to a message saying, hey man, I'm thinking about you. Sorry, my condolences. I know it don't, like, I will hear this a lot. My condolences. I know it don't mean much. And I'll always have to tell them, nah, it does mean a lot, because I know it's hard to even reach out. And to see this many people have came to me, reached out to me, said I was in their prayers, said my condolences, and made it a point to say, listen, if you need anything, or even if it's just a talk, I'm here. That shit means a lot, dog. So yeah, I just wanted to thank y'all, and I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit because, I think I have never lost somebody this close to me before. I've lost cousins, I've lost a couple friends before. But it's different when you have to actually handle the affairs. When you find out something happened and you're the one that's got to go to the funeral home, you're the one that's got to write the obituary and tell people about what's going on and shit. It's just a different wave, right? So, all that shit matters. And I guess I wanted to say, like, I touched on this a little bit with Jake at the view, and like, it made me really have to reevaluate how I attacked and responded when other people went through similar shit that I've been through, right? Like, did I do enough? Did I reach out to them? Did I make myself as available as I should have? And I don't beat myself up about it, because I know that after being through it now, I'm like, the most that people who going through this shit want is just space. I just need to be alone. I need to relax. I need to think about this shit. But being available as a friend, and I had a couple friends just pop up on me too, like, hey Mike, what's up? I brought some drink. Let's sit down. Let's talk. And all that shit helps, dog. So, yeah, it made me reevaluate how I reacted to other things, how I thought about life, what I'm about to do moving forward, because like I said earlier, my pops was telling me since I was like 10 or 11, like, Mike, if I die tomorrow, don't even be worried about me. I done did everything that I wanted to do on this earth already. And everything I do from here on is just icing on the cake. So I don't even want y'all, when I die, I want it to be a celebration. I want people to be having a good time, remembering all the cool shit that I did. And so he told me that a lot. So, but even as much as he told me that shit, you can't be prepared to get that call. You just can't, dog. So, I just want us to make sure we reflect on it, because y'all didn't, really know my pops, but y'all know me, and I'm an extension of him, right? And so any day now, any of us could lose something, and I just want us to be grateful for the shit that we got, dog. This podcast, our group chats, you know what I'm saying? The houses we got, the wives we got, future kids, dog. Like, and we got to take care of ourselves, bro. That was my dad's problem. He should have been here longer than that, dog. But he ain't take care of his body, his health, mentally or physically. And he was stubborn, so it was hard to get him to do the shit, and it got him, dog. And you think 57 ain't old no more, bro. My son only 1.5. I want to live to be able to see my grandkids graduate high school and get girlfriends and go and have weddings. That's the goal, bro. So I guess part of this is me saying thank you to y'all, and the second part of this is just trying to have a conversation on I don't know. Have y'all lost somebody close to y'all where it actually affected you really tightly? And then what was y'all reaction to it? Because my reaction was so much different than I thought it would be. I was just so mad for so many days at the fact that, like I said, he shouldn't have died this early. And and there was so many other things we were supposed to do, so much other shit I was supposed to say. And I was angry that he got taken away, and I was sad that he got taken away. But I didn't expect the anger as much as I did as I felt it. And I don't know. I guess I wanted to know if y'all ever had felt.
I'm in therapy and don't process emotion right. Both of the people who lived here were my aunt and grandma. I was very close, and then they just weren't there. So I'm not a good person to ask about that, honestly.
No, but that's you. You're actually a pretty good one, though, Wazzy. What do you mean when you say they're not there? You mean when they passed away?
Yeah, they were just kind of there, and like my grandma I lived with for a year, basically in the house here, back when I was young. But I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I've had people that I've lost and stuff like that that definitely made a pretty big impression on me. But it's been interesting, like, I mean, I've always felt that everything happens for a reason, right? So even when someone passes away, like, how can that be something for the good, right? Even if it is something awful. And like my uncle Mac, he went out in a bad way, with cancer, and that last month that he spent around here was nothing short of hellish. Um, and he definitely, like, he was 40 something.
Yeah.
I think 44 when he passed, and but like, so what good can come from that, right? And but like, I know the impression that it made on me being at his funeral, and hearing people stand up and talk about him, and the thing that really hit so close to home for me, being the way I am and stuff, is how much my aunt meant to him his whole life, and how much he dedicated his life to her. So I mean, I wish that he would have lived. I wish he would be around to this day. But between my age, um, where I was at in life, the way he went, and everything, it allowed me to have the opportunity to have that impressive of a moment to go ahead and be like, Jake, you need to be that sort of man for your wife. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because I mean, yeah, there's the anger there, and I've been going through some stuff recently, and the anger is funny. Like, I'm not mad at God
Yeah,
for what
exactly.
happened.
And I'm not mad at Pops. I don't know what
Right.
I'm mad at, but there's an anger there.
I'm just not happy.
Yeah.
You're mad that you can do nothing about it.
That's
Yeah,
probably it. Yep.
yeah. That lack of control.
Yeah.
Um, and instead of searching for and receiving the blessing that is there, going ahead and wanting to be able to control it into the blessing that you think that it should have been, but it never was really meant to be. Like, and isn't that why so many people tend to disappoint us? Because they don't meet the expectations that we may have falsely set for them. Like, well, you
Mhm.
should have been this. Whoa, 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 whoa. How are you? How are you going to tell me how I should have been? And I didn't meet that expectation,
Yeah,
So
100%.
but one of the things I've found interesting is some of the Orthodox podcasts I've been listening to lately. A couple of them have actually talked about um, how like the kind of like the goal of not the goal, but like one of the major things with Orthodox Christianity is simply to prepare you for death, and like, a lot of people talk about conspiracies and like, oh, we got this play going on and the end times and all that jazz, but the church has kind of historically taught that yeah, these are the end times. Like they always are the end times, and just because the world didn't end some because that Harold Camper guy miscalculated a bunch of random numbers,
Or time?
doesn't doesn't really matter because um, the way I look at it is that all of these things happen on a grand scale, but also on a personal scale, right? So there is those end times for ourselves, and you have to be constantly vigilant of your own end time, and that you could die at any moment, right? So therefore, you need to live a life that is constantly looking and expecting that to happen at any moment. And I look at some of the family feuds that go on in my family, and like, bro, you literally don't know that you're going to make it home tonight. And
Thank you.
oh, I'm good. So is this really worth it?
Yeah, thank you. Thank
You
you.
know, like,
Is it fucking worth it, man?
and let me tell you, like, 9.9999999 times out of 10, it's
It's
not
not.
worth it.
It's
And
not, bro.
I don't even know if that 0.0000001 is worth it. I don't
Yeah.
know. For me, it's not.
Yeah.
But something horrible could happen to them or you or whatever at any given moment, and so you can't go ahead and be carrying that stuff. You gotta you gotta let people know that they love you, or that you love them. Like, I refuse to go ahead and leave the house without telling Julia at any moment that I love her. Like when I was driving home a couple nights ago, the snow was coming down pretty bad and stuff. And I sent a special text to her saying I love you,
Because he
and it
didn't
was
know if he
because
was gonna make it back in that
yeah.
Michigan weather, boy.
Yeah, I was going sideways a couple of times, and um, you know, so what's that? If I were to die at this moment, what were the last words that she heard? You know what I mean, and stuff like that. And that's an important sort of thing. And it's also interesting. There's this there's this Orthodox priest, Father Theodore, and he's got a YouTube channel that I haven't really like followed up with, but he calls it Father TED Talks, which I thought was really funny.
That is
But
funny.
one of them, he talks about how we remember the saints and death, and how we don't remember them on their birthdays. We remember saints, the vast majority. There's a few that we do remember them on their birthdays, but the vast majority, we remember them on the day that they died and stuff. And
Shit, they probably
because
only wrote down the day that they died, but I feel it.
yeah, well, I mean, like there's that aspect to it, but like in more modern times, we got other dates and stuff like that, but we still don't care about your birthday.
Right.
Because what did you do on your birthday?
Yeah,
You
right.
didn't do anything. Your dad did something,
Yeah.
but for example, Mike, you had pointed out how so many people had reached out, and how we don't really know your dad, but we know you. And when your father passed away, like, his book was sort of closed, right? But we can look into it now, and we see the product of that. We know you,
Yep.
so we can celebrate the effect that he's had in this world through you, and stuff like that, um and that's the accomplishment of his life, not
Yep.
anything that he did on his birthday.
Right.
you
That's
know
100% facts. So, Wazi, were you saying earlier that auntie and grandma passed away and you just felt like you didn't have a lot of emotion towards when it happened?
I mean, not really. Like my grandma was going downhill for a while, dementia and stuff, and my aunt had breast cancer,
Yeah.
and they were just. I mean, it was just kind of they were there and then they weren't, and that's just kind of how I process it. Like my mom last year when she was dealing with all the kidney stuff, it was a similar thing. It's like, all right, well, she's here. Who knows when she won't be?
Yeah. And
And that is not a good thing. I'm not saying that as a good thing at all. And I hate that about myself that I do that, but it is me right now.
yeah, I guess the only thing I would say is that grandmas, especially like you get up in that age, you can kind of more rationalize that stuff. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're older. You this is about the time you're supposed to go anyway. We don't live that long, right? And
She
then
was 83. My aunt
you said
was
how old?
83. I think my aunt was like
Yeah.
61 at the time.
Yeah. And then with the cancer stuff, it's like a constant battle. So you kind of almost start grieving earlier with shit like that. What I will say though is because my pops had a scare with his heart 2 years ago, or yeah, 2 years ago. And I kind of felt the same way. Like, all right, like the same shit you were saying with your mom. Like, all right, he here. They say he probably gonna be all right, so I'm not even tripping. And then I kind of started trying to prepare myself because I'm like, are you making changes? Can I get you to make changes? And he would make changes and then relapse. But it's still just a different feeling once you get that call, man. And I don't ever want y'all to have to experience that too. Y'all gonna have to experience it, but
Mm-hmm.
not too soon. But I guess what I'm saying, Wazzy, is you don't. That's not a irregular feeling because I did feel that same way. But it's a different wildness when you actually got to deal with it. So
Well, yeah, and I mean, like all of like both my grandfathers and my one grandmother, like they've passed. I've had other like aunts and uncles pass and stuff, and I mean, I'm like you. I was like, it's like okay, well, like they're not here anymore.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah, but I've never, it doesn't matter. Never mind.
well, no, yeah, I
It's
mean,
not something I want to talk about right now.
yeah. So, but like, I mean, but I have had other ones that have hit differently. But you know, Mike, it's interesting because Julia and I have had sort of similar conversation. Cancer runs big time in my family, but her uncle had passed away not too long ago. Wait, I don't even remember quite when it was, but not too long ago, and uh, he had a heart attack, and those are what tends to take out the men in her family,
mm,
and I mean, we had seen him back in 2019, no indication that he was going to be going and stuff,
right,
and then just boom, you know,
yep,
and it's interesting because like, which is better, going ahead and seeing them literally rot away in front of your face.
mm-hmm,
Sure, you get to prepare yourself a little bit and stuff, but I'll never forget the skeleton of a man that was laying in that hospital bed in my uh, aunt and uncle's living room. Like, I can never go ahead and unsee that image,
yep,
um, and stuff, and that's horrific. But
yep,
then also, I can't imagine just getting a call about someone who was there, and
yep.
you know. So either, I mean, it's shitty either way,
It
isn't it?
is, bro. So I guess what I've come to terms with is saying to yourself, Mike, it's shitty either way. So live as long as you possibly can, dog, so that when you do pass, everybody else still has that they can lean on it. He lived a long life and it was about time and he wants to go. Not
Mm,
not not the he I don't want to have that he had so much left in him. He had so much more to do conversations after I passed. I really wanted to be that motherfucker killed it. He was 90 years old. He was still going out to on runs at 86 and it was about time for him to go. And I want that for all of us guys
mm,
and it's going to start with it's a lot of shit that we can do you know, there's a lot of shit that we can't do ourselves to make that happen. Obviously, it's life and shit's just going to happen that you have no control over. But a lot of people die from shit that they had control over and just didn't give a fuck about. That's why I look at Wise and I'd be so happy. Like, my man's took his life in his own hands, bro. Switched up his diet, started working out more. You know what I'm saying? Start fucking with us more. Shit, you know,
He grabbed his balls by both hands.
Both hands, bro, and switch it up on you motherfuckers, bro. Jake, yo ass look like Captain America in the first movie, bro. Like, yo, you got skinny as hell, dog. It's going all that fast in this shit, bro. I still hoop 4 times a week, bro. Like, we got to keep up on shit like that, dog. And so
I'm actually really excited for it to get warmer and go ahead and head down to the middle school, I think it is, just down the way from me, and take the basketball there and shoot some hoops.
Ooh,
and make a fool of myself. But, well, yeah, longboard there, and then
and bust your ass a couple of times, hoop, then make it back
split
home.
both cheeks, man.
So we'll take one more, boys. Cheers to long life, good friends, and good health, y'all.
Actually, I'm gonna finish it on this.
When I leave, come together like butt cheeks.
So y'all was talking about it a little bit in the group chat. Y'all still on y'all stocks and shit?
Oh yeah, man.
You ain't sold none of them? You holding on to them hoes?
I'm just buying more, man.
For sure.
No, so it was funny because
you still got your Bitcoin, Wazzy? That shit.
I sold a whole of that.
35,000 now.
Right, but I would have sold it at like 1,000 when I first got it because that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, okay.
What was it here? Yeah, so I've heard that there's some interesting things going on. That apparently there's indication that hedge funds have been buying a bunch of calls for a couple of weeks out, which I don't know if it's the right term, but like it's so you guys
The
understand.
short reports that came out yesterday, a lot of people are thinking are faked for AMC, and they're hoping that Melvin, whatever his name is, or whatever the company is just kind of lying. And they're like, okay, we'll pay $1 million in fees to avoid paying $2 billion in I can't remember what the tax is called, but it's like a lender tax.
Like fees as in for lying.
No, yeah. So it's like $1 million or $2 or $1 million or $2 million for them to lie is the fine, and we're talking $1 billion markets.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I'll go ahead and take that 1 ML so that I could go ahead and like save 999 million. But with the shorting the stock, with the price, you're going ahead and borrowing stocks, you're selling them, anticipating that the price is going to drop so that you could buy them back at that lower price, give them to the person that you borrowed them from, and then you keep the difference, right?
Have you followed along with what short selling is, Mike?
No, not really. That's why I'm asking.
So, like a super quick example that I thought of today for short selling is like, let's say you and I'm a hedge fund here. We go to Kroger and we get like a lunch apple, because why not? And I'm like, yo, how about you buy my apple today and I'll buy both apples, or you buy both apples today, I'll buy both apples tomorrow, and I'll just pay whatever the price is tomorrow, and you can pay for both of us today whatever the price is today. I know that every Tuesday the apples for some reason are 25 cents lower. So I'm like, all right, cool. I get to save 50 cents because you don't know that apples are cheaper on a given day. And what all of this movement is trying to do is be like, yo, if they don't have apples to sell, Kroger's going to charge you $20 an apple because they only get 14 a day now. So now you got to pay $28 to buy 2 apples because you wanted to save, or you wanted to short your buddy 50 cents the day before. So it's kind of like a hand in the cookie jar type thing.
Yeah.
Right. So you end up profiting if the price goes down, but there's something else. I can't remember like the accurate term for it, but it's a similar sort of thing but it's like the inverse of it, where with the price going up, you profit.
Well, that's just
It's like
a
called.
normal long sale.
Yeah.
So
Long sale, I think it is. Or long.
there's long sales and short sales. Long sales are the equivalent of getting that piece of paper stock, the letter that says you own 4 shares. That is a long. A short is when the hedge fund is like, yo, Merrill Lynch, I want to borrow 75 shares to short. If they're with Merrill Lynch, they'll be like, all right, here's 75. The people who lended it to you don't know that they lended it to you, and we'll deal with everything later. So the lending of a short sale is not. It's like a borrowing essentially. It's like I'm going to use those stocks that I don't own to try to gain money.
Is it always like a quick turnaround on short sales too?
A short sale can be months.
Okay.
Like the GME thing, I think was 5 months, and AMC were 2 months past a gamma. What's it called? A gamma ladder or gamma short?
Yeah, gamma squeeze.
Yep. And then they're expecting a true squeeze to happen next week or the week after. But
Yeah.
So that's not like terribly difficult to understand, but it's definitely not as straightforward as most people probably think stock trading is.
Well, yeah. So
I always just thought it was buy some shit when it's low, sell it when it get high.
well, and then there's cash versus margin. So if you're a margin account, the brokers can lend on your behalf without you knowing. If you're a cash account, they typically can't. But to do put options, you have to be part of a margin, which means you could lose a ton of like it's not it's like a credit card, it's not a bank. So like I do like bank style cash options. So I put $400 in the account, I got 400 bucks to play with, that's it. If you're on a margin account, you can throw $400 in there and spend $100,000
Jesus Christ.
accidentally because you picked something at the wrong time. There was a Robinhood article about somebody who that happened to, and it was like $720,000 in debt. They thought they were.
Well, yeah, because there was a Robinhood loophole to get unlimited margin. Yeah, that Wall Street Bets got that shut down maybe a year ago.
That's why I'll be going to Vegas and jumping off the
Also,
buildings.
remember the name Wall Street Bets, not Wall Street Guarantee. Don't spend money if it's coming out of your like, food fund.
Right.
Yeah,
Pull it out of your game fund.
So you
Yeah.
said say that again, Wazzy. You say you do like a bank cash account. Who do you use again?
I have an account with Robinhood that I'm trying to take everything out of, and I opened up one through Webull just because I knew that they were quick. I do want to get into actual investing. Like I've got 6 stocks now. Yeah, 5 stocks now that I actually own. I think I threw like within the whole meme thing, couple $100. So I'm down like $100 total. But I'm converting most of that into actual investing and following news and all that kind of stuff, like the 23andMe merger that's going to happen. I got in a little bit ahead of that to see what ends up happening, but I do want to follow that. But yeah, so a cash option is basically what everybody should be doing, unless you're dealing with large sums of money.
Yeah,
and it's like a bank. It's like a bank account. You throw money in there,
and that's all you.
That is your money. Yep.
But yeah, so apparently hedge funds have been buying a ton of $800 calls or whatever in a couple of weeks. So when they have to buy these shorts back, the anticipation is that it's going to skyrocket through the roof. And I mean, before
Where do you
all
read
of
this stuff at? Sorry.
I mean,
Intel, FINRA, Optex. I'd have to look up the name. There's a couple services that will show short reports, short interest, volume utilization, volume shares per day, average shares minimax.
And
Some are paid.
those are pretty trustworthy.
They're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it's interesting looking like
I guess I don't mean to keep cutting you off. I guess my only thing is that you just said you saw an article that's saying that these guys are buying these calls for a couple weeks out. Like, how did you find out about that? And did somebody just leak some shit to you so that you would leak it to the public, or I don't know?
well, I mean, like stuff has to be reported and everything, right? And unless they want to go ahead and misreport and then,
but I
take a
guess what I'm
fine, but
asking is the same shit you can ask about any news article, right? Like, where'd you get your info? Are they
yeah, but I mean, if these shorts are still out there, then like if you look at before the spike happened, GME was 10, 15, between 10 and $15 a share, and currently it's at $51.20 right now. So if they have a ton of shares that they need to cover and buy up, and it's already like higher than what it was before they sold them, then yeah, it'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
One other part of this movement that I haven't seen many people talk about outside of some AMC stuff is one of the other things is as people are buying shares and using them and putting them into cash accounts like most Robinhood
Hold on one
accounts.
second, Wazzy. Hold on one second. My shit just froze. Give it a second. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Go.
All right. So one of the good things that or not good things, but one of the plans that I haven't seen many people talk about is when they're in cash accounts where you turn off lending. All of the apps should be able to do that in some sense. They can't lend your shares out if they're on either sell orders. So like I've got all of my AMC sell orders selling for $100 right now. So those can't get lended out. As more people are into those accounts, they can't actually lend from the shares. So like a utilization is how many of the shares available can be lended. And as those go down, it forces the hedge funds into paying out because they can't get more shorts. So if a stock goes down 10% in one day, there's something called the I think short supply rule (SSR) that goes in effect for the current day and the day after. And I don't know exactly how it works, but I know it makes getting a short sale harder on the company. So they try to go like one day SSR and then a couple days without, and then one day SSR, just so that it can slowly lower it, so that when they do have to pay back, they aren't paying back $20 a share, $30 a share. They're slowly paying out $5 a share, $4 a share.
Okay. Okay.
That's interesting.
It is.
So
and the issue with, so sorry to cut you off, but the big thing with GME is they actually were up to almost 140% short sales. So they were essentially creating counterfeit shares, because how can you lend out more than 100% of the available? I mean, I know how much you love give 110%. They wanted to give 140% just for you.
we call it inflation, don't we?
Boy.
So Wazi, are you saying then that you would suggest people go ahead and have sale orders scheduled, then to, in essence, go ahead and tie up those shares?
Most accounts that are going to be doing this are cash accounts anyways. So unless you're on a margin account, you shouldn't have to worry about it.
Okay. So it's
But
like
for
auto
me,
tied up pretty much?
pretty much.
Okay.
For me personally, because I bought in at 8 and 750. I'm probably just going to end up keeping them because AMC, once the world's done being dead,
It's gonna bop.
Yeah. It's especially that first quarter, right?
Yeah, you know what?
Everyone
I
going
need to
the
make sure I
theater.
hurry up and go and grab me some of this here.
Yeah, I think it's down to like 6.5 right now.
It's so it closed at 580. It dipped to 550 for a moment. Mike, if you're gonna buy, wait 30 minutes after market open
Yeah.
because there's gonna be a giant dump right at the beginning. It'll hit a low, and then by noon it'll probably hit around the high for a day.
Yeah.
So
Like 9:30,
uh,
10 o'clock probably.
after hours is going down. It was at 574. It's now between 567 and 570. But yeah, I recommend. I didn't throw a whole bunch into AMC, like $100 total. So if everything flopped, I'm out one fun toy or one video game or one thing that I can no longer splurge on.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely don't put everything into it and hope. Don't plan on making money. Be happy if it does.
Bro, I would never, ever, ever. Like, so I don't know if y'all know, but they legalized online betting in Michigan like last month or 2 months ago. Can't remember.
Yeah,
So,
I can't stop getting the damn ads about it.
bro, the ass is crazy. Oh man, but
DraftKings.
yeah, luckily that's just never been one of my proclivities, like losing money. I just I only will bet on something that I'm at least 80% sure about, and even then, $20 was the most I bet during the Super Bowl. Like, so like you said, you lose that 20, all right. No, I can't buy lunch tomorrow or something. Like, that's about it.
You have to have tuna
lunch?
instead of like a chicken breast.
Yeah, bro. Uber Eats and all that shit.
You have to make food instead of buy food.
Exactly, like that. Them delivery fees, Jake. Them bitches dirty,
Oh, yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Them
For
bitches
sure.
is dirty, bro. So it make me want to just walk to the store and get my shit.
Bro, that's what I do. I walk down to the Taco Bell and I stand in the drive-through line.
Honk honk.
I ain't gonna spend gas money. You got gas money?
We'll get to more in depth to this shit afterwards because I do want y'all to put me on to the best ways to do stuff. I've really been thinking about using Fidelity.
Well, yeah.
I don't know, but I still have to look up other shit.
So one of the things,
Weebly sounds like this place that makes
Weeble.
Yeah,
Weeble.
Don't you use that to make like websites or something? Ain't that a
Oh
thing?
no, that's what is that site?
Wasn't there like a Weeblo or something like that?
Weebly.
I think ain't that what you said?
No, Weeble.
Oh, Weeble. Okay.
Like the opposite of Weeble Bear.
Okay, like how young kids pronounce Weedle when they watch Pokemon. That's a Weeble. What the fuck it's not, you idiot.
But so one of the things that I don't really see
Pokemon?
anyone.
Sorry, I just had to get that out.
One of the things I haven't really seen anyone talking about, everyone's just talking about like the dangers of buying meme stock and all that jazz, and like, oh, you don't want to do it.
Funds, bro.
Everyone's gonna go ahead and lose out. You really don't want to lose out. You're gonna lose your money. You're gonna go poor and be broke, and all that jazz. And I understand, and I have like a value for that sort of criticism, but I don't know of anyone who's going into this with that sort of mentality.
Somebody is, but yeah.
Everything I'm seeing, like, one dude's down 200K and he's like, I can still hold it. It's like, people are, I think enough people know that it's a meme that they aren't actually doing it. I'm sure there's a couple people out there who life has been, rough for the past year. If they can't like get anything, that it is a stimulus check, so $600. If it can 10 times, they're fine.
I mean, but yeah, but so we have to go ahead and think about who we're talking to here, because if we're using the standard of Wall Street bets,
Hmm.
then yeah, like these people are crazy. Like they'll go ahead and YOLO on something and end up straight broke. Like that does happen there. But I mean that's the life that they're about.
About
But
that, I'm about that life, boss.
the people who are
About
going
that
ahead and
action.
like me who's going around sharing these memes, making my own memes, and buying a couple of stocks here and there. Like I know what's going on, and and I don't know that I'm a good standard to be measured against or anything, but I think the vast majority of people who are jumping in on this bandwagon, they aren't going to go ahead and go broke, especially since they bought it at $100 or $200 a share and it's down to 50. So but it's obviously like they focus so much on that, but the more interesting thing to me that I don't see people talking about is I've always known about the stock market. I've seen trading places countless times, but I've seen the ads for Robinhood for years.
Exactly.
I've known that it's been right there at my fingertips, but I haven't had something to motivate me to take that one necessary step. And this has been enough to go ahead and open that door. So okay, sure, I bought some meme stocks that I might lose out on. But it's not like I invested anything in it that is going to be a detriment to me. Eh, So, but now I have this new tool available to me. Now I have this new knowledge available to me, so that and I don't even know how many people are going to be seeing and sharing the memes and actually opening some sort of investment account, but enough people will be that forces a democratization of the stock market, because you don't have to be in New York City anymore. All you need is a laptop. All you need is your phone, and you could be doing all of this stuff. Um, and this provides enough motivation to actually get people to do that sort of thing. And so that's interesting. And sure, GameStop is a meme stock, right? It's a joke, it's a meme, but you get the phrase on Wall Street bets, we like the stock. And I mean, honestly, like, maybe it's not going to go ahead and go up to 800 a share, and you could go ahead and cash out. But the changes that they have been making, it could be a viable long-term stock to hold on to.
They
And
picked up the Chewy dude, and
yeah,
like they're using all of this publicity to improve their platform.
right. So and now I'm on here, and I could go ahead and maybe my position is I'm just going to invest in stock that I like. I'm not trying to get rich off of it, but you know what? I got a Samsung phone. Samsung puts out good products. I like their stuff. I'm gonna buy a share of Samsung.
Mm-hmm.
Just to support the cause, because I like what they do, and that sort of thing. I like the stock.
Yep.
And instead of trying to make short-term gains, it could really change the name of the market, I think. And in addition to that, there's things like, if I remember correctly, like by owning a share, didn't you used to get like dividends?
For some. So like I had Intel, or no, I had Microsoft in 2018, which was the last time I kind of got into this kind of investing, and I think I got like $1 at the end of the year just
Mm-hmm.
for owning some like Microsoft stock. And I can't remember the exact values, but yeah, there for a lot of companies, if they do well, so a lot of the money, a lot of the profit goes to the EBITDA stuff, which you guys know way too much because it was forced down our throat at
Boy.
old workplace.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but like after that, there's like a 5% rule where like the first 5% goes to like just dividends or something like that, and then the rest goes to the board and then the
Mm-hmm.
employees
But
and
to
all
say
that.
the executive. So
Yeah.
that's a good point, though, Jake. Before you move off of it, I don't know if he was about to move off of it, but um, I think that that's a great point that people don't even think about, like how this actually opened doors for a lot of people to even step into this realm. And it seems like from what I've been seeing online, it's like the dudes who consider themselves real stockbrokers are like pissed off, like all these people are in here doing this and messing up the stock market, when in reality, don't you understand that when more people putting money into the stock market, that's more money to be made, dog? Like, it's kind of the same idea as betting. These casinos want you out here putting your money towards them. These companies want you out here putting their money towards them. And
I mean,
most people are idiots anyway, so they're gonna be losing their money and shit. Like, ain't that what you want? I don't know.
stock market has always been a bet. Like with the 2000, with the like 2000 crash. Like, my
Yeah.
dad got huge into stocks from the 80s and early 90s when everything was growing up. You're growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Investing was, if you invested, it was pretty much guaranteed. And then we had the crash, and he lost like 60% of everything from that. So
That's
it's always
another
been a
point. That's another point that I was about to ask. Wise, when do you cash out on these stocks? When do you say, "Let me get my money out of this shit"?
So, I'll go ahead and say, my brother and I have been talking about this a lot, and he's actually got two accounts, investment accounts open, and he's got one set to go ahead and sell when shares hit a certain level, and that will go ahead and actually pay off all of his investment. So that now he's back at ground zero. But that account one, he's got diamond hands, and he ain't selling.
Hmm.
And a lot of these people, like deep fucking value and stuff like that, they've sold enough shares to go ahead and cover their initial investment. So now, like, why do I want to sell? I like the stock. you know.
He can do that in one app. When you do a sell limit, you can set how many shares you want to sell limit.
Yeah, I saw that because I set that for a couple of the different stocks I've got. So I don't know why he felt the need to have a second account open, but he's also dealing with things on a much larger magnitude than I am.
which
So maybe
which
it's just
which
easier.
brother?
Mr. Money Hands.
Okay. I
Yeah.
guess
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that afterwards too.
I I guess I mean more so like in the long run. Though, do most people just save their stocks until they retire, or is it something you passing down to your kids? So, like, I don't know. I
Like,
guess I always thought I'm going into the stock market to make money. I want to make money to spend it. So when am I
like,
supposed to cash out and get my money from these motherfuckers?
my dad used a lot of it as like a college fund, um, or just like that kind of thing. Like, or it's an investment. Like if you get Samsung, as Jake said, you could pass that on to your son and be like, here is 10 shares that I got for you when you were born, that kind of thing. So
And
you
when
could
you get older, pass it on to your son, and then
or sell it if it skyrockets, or if you need the money, sell it. If you
Mhm.
want to reinvest it into other things,
Yeah, it's like it's your 18th birthday. Here's these 10 shares that I had bought for you. Do what you will with it.
For sure. Okay.
Um,
So it just kind of depends on everybody. Everybody do a little something different with their shit. Some people will use it short term. Some people will use it to pass it down. Some people just cash out to retire it. So what are y'all gonna do specifically? You two. How long y'all planning on keeping that shit?
I'm
well,
trying to get rid of the Robinhood, but the rest, I'm going to try to actually be an investor. I'm going to try to hold on to something for 6-9 months, see where it is, and follow the market and see where it goes.
yeah,
Okay.
I guess my main incentive initially was like political, right? Like I don't think it's I don't think it's cool that you guys are doing this and the damage that it does to companies, right? I mean,
Hmm.
you could go ahead and bankrupt a company this way.
Yeah, destroy them.
And right, and for what? Just so that your pockets are fatter, and they're already super fat. And then and
I don't know
then what
why when you say fat is just hilarious.
but then like how many people are now unemployed because of that? I don't like that.
I feel you.
Like that's not cool. So like that's my initial impetus. But I do have an investment from my own. I've got skin in the game that I would like to go ahead and make back so that Julia's not mad at me.
Mm,
So I mean honestly, I do plan on selling some shares once like they hit something that I feel is like more than sufficient, so that I can make off that and make back that initial investment. But I mean, GameStop has made some changes, some structural changes that look very promising. So what's $50 now could be a lot more in a couple years. So I'm also looking at the long term too.
it's funny
Um,
how now it also make you kind of pay attention to that type of shit too, right? Like I didn't give a fuck what GameStop was doing, 3 months ago. I just assumed y'all was dying. Now I'm looking like, oh, y'all doing some things over here, and I'm gonna pay attention real close to what else y'all doing.
well, yeah. So and that was the thing I was gonna say with your comment, Mike, about don't you want more people in here? Isn't that more money? With the professional stock traders being upset, and my disagreement with that is that what we're seeing is what we see with the democratization of everything and all things, right? I mean, you hear the same comments about from like professional artists regarding SoundCloud artists, right? About how you don't know what you're doing, even like this is trash that you're producing. We've been hearing that argument in all of these realms, honestly, since the dawn of time. It's part of that transition, um, and one of the things that I think is an issue is that the way I look at it is with democratization, to a certain extent, you're essentially creating like a super like a what's the word like you're you're networking
Conglomerate?
huh.
A conglomerate?
No, I look at it as like a supercomputer with a bunch of nodes, various nodes, right? That are
Cluster.
all linked up. Yeah. So like we're all with democratization of the stock market, you had it in the hands of a few who were looking at it, and they were able to go ahead and influence rules to go ahead and benefit them. But now, with more people looking at it, I can look at it and be like, this doesn't make sense to me.
Mm,
But I'm just one person, so my voice doesn't matter. But your voice, you're saying that too, and everyone's looking at this. So we have more computing power on uh, on a topic that's reanalyzing the way it should be run. And there's rules set up to go ahead and benefit these people in these situations and not to benefit me. So if there's more of us going ahead and looking at it like, no, I think it should be run this sort of way, it could influence the situation so that now they're not making the gains that they used to make. So yeah, they don't want more eyes on it because it's easy to make money in the shadows, right?
yeah, I feel you.
I mean,
You're right.
there,
I think they are.
there-
Yeah, you're right.
go ahead.
No. I was just saying he's right. I think they overestimated a lot of people though, but
Mm.
I think what you're saying definitely will happen. There are definitely going to be more people who think like that, but I think there's still also going to be a lot of people who just throw money and shit.
Right, because now you could take the approach of guys like Mark Cuban and Kevin O'Leary, who are looking at this and they're like, "Ooh, I'm hearing the voice of the people. I, I don't. They don't care. They
Hmm.
don't care about me. But they're like, this is the future of things. I better get on the right side of history. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yep.
The issue as I see it is a lot of the people who are getting meme bets or meme stocks are seeing it as investing when it's not. It's literally gambling.
Mhm.
And that's where a lot of the old timers have an issue, at least from a couple that I've watched. Like there's an old dude, stocks with Bruce or something. Funny old dude. But like you're not investing if you're throwing money in a pool and hoping that what everybody else thinks is going to happen is going to happen.
Right.
Investing, you believe the company's going to do well. So you are trying to put money into that company. That is investing. And that is what the stock market should be. The stock market shouldn't be a casino.
Right. That's a great breakdown.
Hmm.
We'll get back into this a little bit because I think that this will be a topic that we kind of come back to for a little while from now on, and probably for the foreseeable future. Seeing as you two are already in it, I'm planning on getting in it. So I'll be the people's guinea pig, asking the dumb questions while Jake and Wazzy kind of break it down for all of us idiots.
And I only know because I'm interested in it myself. I didn't know anything about short sells, ladder attacks, any of that, and I'm like, oh, that guy talked about it. What is it?
That's why I'm trying to let you know you're a fucking genius, and all it is that something has to interest you, and all of a sudden you've absorbed the information. These are my whiskey stones, by the way. I got these for Christmas this year. They're fucking
nice.
like AK-47 bullets, but.
On a side note, does anybody know how to dispose of bullets? Because I have a box that I found in the attic that I don't know what to do with.
I'll take them off your
I'm about to
hand.
say I got a couple of friends who need some bullets because them bitches are like very hard to get. Especially I don't know what type you got. You probably found some shotgun shells up there or something. Huh?
They're like little revolver bullets.
Yeah, I can't tell the difference between ammo, but if it's like 9mm or something.
The box may say.
You said what?
The box may say.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you might want to go ahead and just invest in bullets.
I was about to say, bro, like them bitches is flying off the shelf. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was telling Jake that I really was excited to talk about Audio Slave today. There's a lot to unpack in this project, so let's get into it. We're doing a pretty good on time too. I knew since every time we haven't seen each other for we miss a week, 2 weeks. You said what?
Can we piss first? Because I've had like 3 cans of
Go ahead,
LaCroix.
bro. Go ahead. I thought you got up to piss when you made your
break.
drink, bro.
I got a snack and got another drink.
All right, go
I'm
ahead.
not smart. I don't think ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. Go ahead, buddy.
Touch your wee wee.
Yeah, look at that ass. Yeah.
Ooh, juicy. Man.
Bro just fucking did the bust it challenge on us. That's crazy. That boy do need a new chair too. Look at that bitch there, boy.
Man, that's like your couch downstairs.
My old couch. That ain't down there no more. That's exactly what it's like. That motherfucking back sweat. You think Wazzy get butt naked in that motherfucker to jack off? Just be
Bro, I hope not. Because if so, I'm gonna start calling him Blueback. You've heard of Blackbeard, but here's Blueback. Just get all sweaty too. Just cake to it.
Hey, you see where it's sweat at, right? It's where the pieces is going lower back and shoulders.
Oh,
that's
man.
where all the work is, baby.
Imagine putting a JJ in that chair.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I want somebody to do. If we got anybody that listens to this that does like reclamation projects, I would love for somebody to get Wazzy's chair and then like what's the word I'm looking for? Renovate that motherfucker.
My chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one it's foam based, so it's a pain in the ass.
Man, if this really pops off and Wazzy becomes like the hero of the podcast, like imagine someone going ahead and buying that chair for like thousands of dollars.
It will be long gone by.
Oh yeah.
Why am I a hero?
It's on Sotheby's being auctioned off.
Because you're so wholesome.
Yeah.
Relatable.
I'm not wholesome.
You're the only redeemable one here.
Yeah, like you're the type of guy that people do gravitate toward. Podcast.
Still don't know why, but
oh man. So Audio Slave, album Audio Slave. Break it down, Jake. Why'd you pick that this week?
Yeah, I don't know. Mike, you had mentioned and was talking a bit about features on albums and stuff like that. And here we go with like, there's plenty of, I'd say, attempts at super groups within the rock realm, but I feel like they're really some of the only ones that have actually been able to make it happen. Um, and they don't feel like a lot of the super groups that I can think of. They just they were a gimmick. It was a money grab attempt. Whereas this just feels very sincere and authentic. So that's the reason why I specifically chose it. I think it's a solid album. I've never had a I don't think there's any. I did have a little difficulty figuring out which album I wanted to choose from Audio Slave because this and their next one I really enjoy, but
I think you chose correctly.
yeah, and what was it here? Uh,
Wisely.
um, it's I don't have any specific like profound memories or emotional attachments to the album or to the band other than just that like this is super solid with everything I hear from them. And it's pretty much you got Chris Cornell, who's the singer from Soundgarden on vocals, with basically Rage Against the Machine as the band, and but it doesn't sound like Rage at all. And well, I guess in some parts, like some of the guitar work, I would say like there's some similarities in tone.
I don't mean to stop you. I'll talk about that on my side.
But to me, it feels really rather different than the emotion that's elicited from Rage Against the Machine. Um, Maybe that's a better way of putting it. But Tom Morello, regardless of what he's doing, he, the sounds that he makes with the guitar are super fascinating. I don't really see many people approach the guitar the way he does, and and I don't know, just really fascinating. And he's not shy to use effects, which I don't know. Sometimes I really dislike it when people use effects because I feel like you're just trying to cover up something that you're not capable of really doing on your own, and you use it gimmicky. But I feel like he treats the effects that he applies as an instrument unto itself, and um, in a very sort of sincere sort of fashion. Um, there's plenty of songs that kind of stand out to me on the album, but not enough to really elicit much comment on my part. Just hit after hit after hit. So.
Let me ask you this: what makes it feel more authentic to you, Jake? Is it just because it's better songs than other super groups, or what?
No, it's that ineffable sort of thing. Like when you're listening to certain artists and you're like, you could feel the soul, like whether it's rap, like and even if you're not a fan of the genre, you could be like, there's truth here. You could
It
either
doesn't feel
hear it in the
forced.
words. Yeah, it doesn't feel forced, and that sort of thing. And these guys, like the feel from the entirety of the music that they create together, it doesn't feel like you're just cutting and pasting a bunch of stuff and sitting it next to each other. It feels like these guys wanted to be in a room working together. Oh, and then but yeah. So.
What? What was you about to say?
Oh, no, it was like nothing. So.
Okay, go ahead, Was.
I mean, I love this album. I remember when it first came out because it was this and A Perfect Circle at the same time, like within 6 months of each other. And A Perfect Circle was Tool and somebody else, but like during that time, the alt rock was like going places. And this album, I've always loved Chris Cornell's voice. I think just I can feel what he's trying to get at. And then the throughout the album, the Tom Morello stank is just amazing. Just the feel he gives to the songs. And like the reason I disagree that it doesn't sound like or that it does kind of sound like a Rage Machine. What is it? Set It Off and I think Exploder sound like they could be straight up Rage Machine, Rage songs, but with a different vocalist. And that is the Tom Morello stank. There's an organic nature to his effects where he'll still have like the wahs, and I think I read he does everything on like 4 pedals, but he's doing everything very distorted, but it's also very organic at the same time, just because he's putting his human flair into it.
Hmm.
Like I've always loved Like a Stone, Gasoline, I'm the Highway. Um, those were my big ones from it, or and What You Are, um, and Show Me How to Live. Yeah, so I loved it. I love the guitar work. I love Cornell's voice, except for I don't like his or the way he does it and Set It Off. But that's also I like Rage, but the thing I like about Rage is the Tom Morello stank. It's that organic. It is a stank. I mean, yeah, and that is what I love about Rage. It's all of the notes that are played are very deliberate when he plays them.
Hmm.
And that has always been what I loved about his music. Yeah, overall, it's an album I listened to when it first came out, probably on repeat for a month or two. So I'm very glad to hear it again.
That shit brought you back a little bit.
Yeah, how did it hearing it again? And it's been a while.
I don't think I've done a full album listen to probably in 5 years. I've heard a couple songs here and there. It'll go on a playlist, but like the entire I don't think I've actually heard the last 4 tracks. I think I always just once I got to I Am the Highway, that's like a decent chunk, and I think the rest of it I just kind of faded out as music. I don't dislike it at all. It's just
Right.
I Am the Highway to me is my favorite track, and the rest of the album after your favorite track is not your favorite track. So
Yeah, and not to mention that's kind of like a nice note to go out on, right? Like that I could definitely see being like what wraps up an album too, doesn't have to be, but like I could definitely see that too. But so like was there like a disparity between like you're listening to it now and then and like
I
comparing
had
those
never done
two?
a lyric playthrough, or I could probably sing I Am the Highway and What You Are and Like a Stone word for word, but I have no idea what the actual lyrical content was. Um, so I'm glad going back and reading that the lyrical content kind of matches what I figured the song was about from the little like chorus shit that I remember. Um, I mean, it feels stronger now because I enjoy music more now than I did back then. Because I would have been 19 at the time, 20 maybe. So I didn't have
In
the same
2002?
appreciation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
So I can actually appreciate. I know why I appreciate things now. I
Mm,
didn't know why I appreciated the music, but now that I do, the fact that I know why I appreciate it, I can appreciate it even more.
mm-hmm.
Fire.
Yep, solid, Mikey.
Yeah, this shit. I always heard of Audio Slave, but I never listened to no Audio Slave. I just always thought that was such a sick ass name to have, Audio Slave. Like you a slave to the audio? Like your shit that fire? Your shit got them locked down like that, bro? Like that's crazy. Uh, so this the first time I actually got to listen to some. I've heard their songs, obviously, but I've never even thought about listening to an album. So before I even get into the album, the first things that I ended up doing was I go to their Spotify page, right? 5 of their like top 6 played songs come from this album. Like everybody love this album. I go to Wikipedia. This album's got like 6 Grammy nominations. You know what I'm saying? Like and like 3 or 4 wins or some crazy shit like that. And then they end up winning like best rock performance in 2004 off of one of the songs off this album. So like, damn, you put on a show from an album 2 years old and won best performance. I don't know, but they whatever it was, they got that motherfucker. So that shit was crazy. So off that alone, I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers was really feeling this group when they came out. Which I also wanted to ask y'all, how did y'all feel when y'all heard, all right, this singer from what's Soundgarden is about to start playing with the band from Rage? Like, what is this? How did y'all feel? Were y'all excited to hear about it? Were y'all skeptical or what?
I was hype.
You was hype?
So this came out 2002, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was kind of like just starting into my rock journey. So I hadn't really I had heard the name Soundgarden, but I wasn't familiar with Soundgarden. But like, good luck ever like spending a
Right.
day in your life without hearing about Rage Against the Machine.
good,
But
good fucking luck, bro.
but uh when I was first exposed to them, it wasn't as this plus this. It was just
Audio Slave.
Audio Slave.
Okay. Yep.
You know, and then it's like, oh, wait a second, these guys. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically how I was then. So I guess my whole thought process before ever pressing play, that was hard to say.
My whole thought press.
Yeah. Was
my thought was press play
in the process of possessing. But before I ever press play, I kept thinking to myself, man, how did the people feel when they heard about these two groups getting together? And then how did the groups feel if you're the lead singer from Rage and then you're the band from Soundgarden and you hear that they're just like, hey, we're going to do some shit together? How do the other people outside of this feel? I don't know. What I ended up reading is that the lead singer, my man's from Rage, I always forget his fucking name, basically quit Rage, and that's why they had to find another lead singer. So on their end, they probably was good, but I do wonder about how Soundgarden's band felt about their lead singer going to do some other work with somebody else. That type of shit just is what makes me think. But then I hit play. All this shit bang. These first like 3 or 4 songs, I'm like, damn, was this on the soundtrack to a movie or something? Like, it's got real like good vibes for like a dope ass movie that came out, you know, back in the thousands. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt some Lenny Kravitz. Yeah, thousands, ain't it? That's what you call the early thousands. Y'all don't call it that.
Well, like
early thousands, sure, like 1100,
talking about like 1065. You talking about the Great Schism over here?
Hello, my lady.
I just took the 2 off. My bad. I'm getting used to this abbreviation culture, bro. Early 2000s. That's just
The early aughts.
Yeah. It sounded like it would be great in a movie during there, and I didn't get to go in there, but I'm almost positive one of these had to been on a soundtrack somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I got some like Lenny Kravitz vibes on some of these joints. So I was rocking out, dog, and I was like, it's a good vibe. And then I'm like, this motherfucking lead singer, bro, he crazy, dog. His voice changing on all these songs. He hitting these crazy notes, and especially in God damn, I forgot the name of the song. It might be. These bitches almost sound like an acapella track. Hold on, let me see real quick.
Like the Stone and I Am a Highway both have acapella-ish parts.
Yeah, it's Light My Way. He hit these like hums and I'm like, okay, bro, you try to sing. I hear you, dog. And yeah, obviously, I Am the Highway goes hard. So he was singing his ass off on. But I always be like, damn, you motherfuckers is talented. And when you said that stank, I was like, that's what it is. But Jake, you had said that's the first thing you said since we was talking about the collaboration shit. Soon as I seen it, I'm like, yeah, Jake chose this because we had this conversation. And what you did was fuck around, basically found the best one. Like, one, this album sounds good, but two, it's critically acclaimed, dog. They got they fucking flowers on this bitch here, dog. But I also seen that they only got like 3 albums together or something like that. 2.
Mhm.
I
So
think they have like 7.
do they? I see
No, not
2002, 2005, 2006. And
Oh, I
then
might be thinking of something else. 2002, 3, 5, and yeah, 4.
yeah, there's yeah. So
Oh, wait, no, 3, because one of them is a EP. Yeah, so you're right. I'm
yeah, so
wrong.
they didn't really have many projects together, so I don't know. Maybe that's just the band life. Y'all get back to y'all old shit with y'all other bands or something, but I guess I just feel happy that they was able to get together and create at least one piece of great art, and that'll go down in history. You know what I'm saying? Because I really like basically all these songs, man. Everyone had a different vibe. Like the first 3 or 4 probably kind of had the same vibe, but then he started switching it up a little bit, and it was a good listen, dog. Because I was going through shit. And so it was good to kind of like listen. And another thing I like is that I could understand what the fuck he was saying, and he did have some like good ass lyrical content in a lot of these songs, and like had something that he was trying to say. Now he wasn't deep, it wasn't like a whole bunch of metaphors or nothing, but I'm like, okay, you got something that you want to say and you want to get across on this song. And I really do be appreciating that a lot of times in dude's music. Like I got a concept and I want to get this across in this song, and he got it across every time actually. So that shit was fire. Another thing that made me really excited to talk about this is because when I was looking it up, it said that Audio Slave was first formed after Zach De La Rocha. How you say that boy name? I know from Rage Against the Machine, Zach De La Rocha. Whatever. So they was looking for a new vocalist, and Rick Rubin is the one who put them on Chris Cornell.
Of course.
So I'm just sitting here like, bro, Rick Rubin is a fucking genius, dog. Like, this man has done so much for the music industry that I really need them to have some sort of I don't know. I want to say 30 for 30, but I need a Rick Rubin documentary, dog, about his life. And I want him to do it before he passes away so that he can actually sit down and give us these stories the same way Michael Jordan was able to sit down and give us the Last Dance documentary. Because he's basically one of the main dudes that got hip hop popping, right? But so to be able to be in that deep, creating Def Jam records, putting people on like the Beastie Boys, working real close with Jay-Z's and the Eminems, and you know what I'm saying? These huge artists, Dr. Dre's and Timbaland's and shit, and then also being able to, at the same time, when in 2002, you got to remember, this is when hip hop is really like starting to take off and become mainstream around this time. At that same time, he's over here like talking to Rage, like, y'all need a lead singer? Shit, I know this motherfucker named Chris Cornell over at Soundgarden. Y'all would do some dope shit together. And not only is he right, he really right. Like, y'all motherfuckers make Audio Slave and make this bomb ass album off of this motherfucker saying you need to bring him over here and do some music with him. So the only way you can do something like that, Jake, is if you really know Rage and you really know Soundgarden and you really know how each of these bands and people sound, and you can say like he would sound great with y'all together, and it actually works, dog. So for you to be able to have your hands in just so many different things, it's just baffling to me, because as much as it is the music industry, guys, there is a separation between genres, dog. There's a separation between the hip hop, the rock, the country, EDM. There is a weird separation between all these genres in the music industry, and it's hard for you to even cross those boundaries. So for Rick Rubin to still be that in touch with all this different shit and be able to have your hands in it, it's really fucking mind blowing to me. Because he's not just a regular motherfucker like me who can just listen to music all the time. He's the head of a record label, like the one of the biggest record labels, and he's still like got in touch with everything else that's going on, dog. So that shit is ridiculous. Rick Rubin, you are a treasure. And I pray we get a documentary of your life and your accomplishments soon, dog.
Is he the guy who was at the beginning of, was it Berserk or Rap God?
Of what? What song?
In the music video. Rick Rubin.
I mean,
I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure. That Eminem song.
Yeah, I think it was either
Yep,
Berserk or Rap God. I can't remember which. Okay.
It's Rap God. Yeah. Yep, because he did that beat. Yep. Yeah. So, and yep, he looked like a fucking crazy ass Santa Claus. Yeah. So it's just I guess I always knew about his accomplishments in hip hop. Like all the people he put on, all the people he put together into studios to create some of the best. Because it's not always about you creating the music, Jake. A lot of the time it's you putting another person with somebody else and create so that look at his ass to create some good shit, dog. And that's just as important as the people who are actually creating it, because you got a certain ear and a certain know-how to know. I know, and not only do I know you, Jake, but I know how you make music. And not only do I know you, Wazzy, but I know how you make music. And I know if I put both of you together in the studio, y'all would make something beautiful and it works. So I always knew about his accomplishments in hip hop. I didn't know that they extended out towards, the rock world like they did, especially, in 2002 when he was on a roll.
It doesn't stop there, right? Like, that he goes deep into the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Johnny Cash's American American Recordings.
Yep.
That was him and Johnny working together.
This is crazy, bro.
Yeah, and produced some of Johnny Cash's best music.
Like I need that docu ASAP, Rick.
Yeah, no, he's all over the place. And one of the funny things I think about music is that kind of like it seems like the longer music is made, the more people who are making music, the more they're going to isolate themselves from others. So you're going to get different genres developed, right? Like it was, rock and roll evolving into rock, evolving into metal, evolving into death metal, evolving into Viking metal, like and that's such a niche genre, right? But now they got their own little circuit and like they're doing their thing and they got their scene, because kind of like because you got essentially enough nodes paying attention to that thing and putting processing power into that. So the diversity of music is going to expand like exponentially, and for somebody like him to be in touch enough with enough different types out there and be able to like keep that all in your head. Like most people hit a certain point where it's like, okay, at this point, I think I'm just gonna listen to these 5 country singers, and like it's Toby Keith, Alabama, and you're like, I can't keep up with the new music and stuff. But you got guys like him who seem to always be able to keep up on it and make new connections. It's wild.
It's wild. And listen to this real quick. This is because I guess I skipped past this part because I was looking at how many accolades this album got. But it says here in the Wikipedia, Audio Slave received mixed reviews, with some critics saying it's the worst kind of studio rock album, rigorously controlled, even undercut by studio gimmickry. They describe Cornell's lyrics as complete gibberish and called producer Rick Rubin's work a synthesized rock-like product that emits no heat. Somebody was roasting this shit, y'all. That was
Someone loves
Pitchfork. That was
Rage,
Pitchfork.
and this wasn't Rage, so they hate it.
Yeah.
Well, so one of the things like I thought kind of interesting considering some of my previous selections is that I find this to be like I really enjoy this album, but for me, I do find it like a run of the mill, mediocre, radio friendly play. There's and there's literally nothing wrong with that, and I love the album regardless, and I feel like the person who wrote that article was looking for something super edgy,
Yep. That was
and
from two
they couldn't,
reviewers at Pitchfork Media. Pitchfork Media gave this album a 1.7 out of 10.
and then like they just couldn't sit back, drop this like weird persona they got, and just appreciate what was in front of them, like.
What the fuck? How do y'all come to a 1.7?
I mean, wasn't that
I'm
happening with
feeling
like, video
spiteful
games?
if I'm giving you a 1.7. I'm spiteful. There's something personal going on. Like you slept with my wife.
Yeah, I'm looking at these reviews now. Some the Village Voice said it was unfavorable. Stylist gave it an F. But then there's Pop Matters gave it a favorable. The AV Club gave it a favorable. Entertainment Weekly A-. Of course Entertainment Weekly loved it. What time was this where we said something was favorable and unfavorable? No, I must have missed this time of reviews.
Like it's not even a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It's like a favorable, unfavorable.
Yeah, it's half thumb up, half thumb down. What the fuck is that,
Bro, you don't even have a boner. You're half mast. Get out of here.
I've never heard of this type of review before.
It's like a pass-fail grade.
It is. That's exactly what it is. Pass-fail, bro. But I'm glad y'all liked it. It sounded good to me too, and it just shows you some people hate pop.
They hate change.
Yeah, pop, change, and anything that could be considered mainstream with a passion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, because like you build up this little community where you get to be like the big fish in the little pond, right?
Yeah.
Now, and I was actually kind of thinking about this a little bit earlier too, because I came across this guy's YouTube channel. So shout out to Key of Jeebs. He's an old composer, and he does breakdowns of music of like songs and stuff, and they're not really reaction videos, but they're kind of like reaction videos, and he's only started it not too long ago, and he really pays attention to the comments and suggestions and all that jazz. So check him out. But he was doing a lot of
Send me their name and I'll put it in the description.
Music Shed also does a lot of cool stuff with like
Who?
Music Shed. So it's like a dude who was like a producer and like talent coordinator and stuff. And he went through the entire like Post-Human album that I had and talked about like Figario or no, I can't Apegogo, like these scales and everything. So like actual music theory of why it's good.
Yeah, this guy, he gets into that a little bit, but he tries not to go too deep because he's trying to go ahead and keep an eye on who the audience is and not going too far out there. But he's a lot of people have been like throwing him a Tool, some Meshuggah, and some Mastodon. And I was listening to his one he just posted yesterday. I think it was a him listening to Storm Breather by Mastodon, and a lot of the comments people were, oh no, you gotta go back to their first album, listen to this and this. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, those songs are great and everything, but just like my experience with Tool, like you have to allow the artist to grow and stuff. You can't force them to be what they were when they were 18, when they're 35, 40, and you can't go ahead and be a Soundgarden fan and think that Chris Cornell needs to sing a certain sort of way on an Audioslave album, or that Tom Morello needs to play his guitar a certain sort of way. So I feel like it's a lot of those reviews were probably people not wanting artists to actually be an artist and create something that's true to themselves, and instead create them a product for themselves to consume,
Now,
so haters gonna hate.
before we get off of this, because this was a great conversation about this album, did Chris Cornell kill himself in Detroit? Because I feel like I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, and I feel like I remember when that happened. So,
And
okay,
then
it was
Chester
after a show.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had
And
taken some
Yeah.
anti-anxietants, and they did not react well.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. So,
and it was kind of interesting too, because like that was in the background of my mind when I suggested the album. But then also considering our conversation earlier, I think it makes it even all the more poignant because shortly before that show, I want to say maybe a week or so, at most a month before that show, Mastodon was in town and they were performing at Royal Oak, and I went and saw them there, and I
this
ran into
all
a buddy
sounds
of mine.
familiar. I think I remember all of this. Yep.
Yeah, I ran into a buddy of mine there, and on the walls there's posters up for the upcoming Soundgarden show, or not, yeah, Soundgarden show. That's who was playing, and my buddy's like, "Bro, you gonna go see Soundgarden?" And I was like, "No, no, no, not this time. There's just too many shows I've been going to recently. I'll catch them next time they're in town." Well, next time never came, So, you know, we always expect there to be a tomorrow. I'll be able to go ahead and hear that band the next time they come through town, but you never know,
Yep.
So you got to really appreciate the moment that you've currently got and embrace it.
Absolutely. With that being said, Wazzy, what's our album for this week?
All right, we're going way back to 95 to the first album that I can remember where I had favorite songs on it. We're going to do Frog Stomp by Silverchair.
Silverchair. Frog
This
Stomp?
Yep.
That's hilarious.
This is a Australian band, and the dude's 15. I didn't know that till recently, and it doesn't matter towards the tracks. But if you guys can pick out my two favorite, I'll buy each of you an AMC share.
Oh, okay. I might try.
Right, motherfucker, make me want to have to try for real. All right, let me go ahead and grab this. You said the dude was 15 when he made this?
The whole band was 15 when they recorded it out of Australia.
Wait, collectively?
That's crazy.
It was released on March 27 March 1995 when the band members were only 15 years of age.
That's
by
crazy.
the record label Murmur.
So we're doing the deluxe edition remastered, or is just a regular? Is there a regular edition?
I only know of the original. I'll probably listen to the deluxe because I don't think the deluxe actually existed back then.
All right, I found it. Frog Stomp remastered. All right. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, y'all. That was the No Consensus Podcast.
Peace.
AG